Well, welcome to day 2 of our big annual celebration. 11 years. Wow.
Big annual celebration.
Yes, and I cannot even hear you guys. So I don't know if anybody else is having issues hearing us. Tell us if you are. Cannot even hear you guys. So
I have an echo. Does somebody have it on?
There is feedback.
There is major feedback.
All right. Well, let's see if I need to do.
There is feedback.
Major feedback.
All right.
Oh,
Well, we will just keep going and
all right.
let
Is
us
that
know
better?
in the comments if you have a lot of feedback, because we certainly do on this end. But if you don't, we can put up with it. So
Are we okay? Are we any better now that I put these in?
So it does say that there is delayed feedback, a delayed echo.
Are we
So
any better now that I put these in?
So it does say that weird. Delayed feedback, delayed. So weird. Okay. Technical difficulties.
Don't you just love it?
It's all right. It's all fun.
All right. Well, I'm going to just tell y'all what we're going to do today. We are celebrating the joy of collaboration in today's. I'm going to just tell y'all what we're going to do today. We are celebrating the joy of collaboration in today's. Holy camoly. What we're going to do today, we are.
When this happens and you are doing a live, we need to troubleshoot. So Athena, why don't you, oh wait, it went away.
Well,
no, it didn't. Athena, why don't you mute and see if it is you? And there we go. Do we still hear an echo? Athena, why don't you mute?
Still echoing.
You still hear an echo. All right. So let me mute and maybe Shelly, you talk. Do you still hear an echo?
Mm-hmm. Still echoing.
You still hear an echo. All right. So let me mute and maybe Shelly, you talk.
Hello, hello. Is there an echo? Mm-hmm. There is an echo. Hello. Is there an echo? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. So let's just keep talking. Wait, it went away. It went away.
Did it? Are we okay? More of a lag than an echo? Well, I can live with that.
It's not there anymore.
It's 3 seconds behind the main feed.
It's not there anymore.
Okay. Well, much better. Yay!
Okay. All right.
Thank you for your prayers.
Maybe it was Shelly's, because now Shelly's on mute and it's working fine. So we'll figure it out. Okay. So take 2.
Take 2. Today we are going to share the joy of collaboration. That is our topic in today's day 2 of our celebration for 11 years of Redemption Press. And yep, punt to you, Carol.
All right. So today we're going to talk about collaboration. And collaboration is, I think, really one of the number one ways to be able to market and be able to get your message out there. And I know yesterday we spent time talking about marketing and being able to really help our authors, whether you are published with Redemption Press or you are publishing with someone else or maybe doing it on your own, helping get the message out, because we are all about the gospel, because the gospel matters. And Shelly, it's doing it again. So you may want to helping get the message out. So how about this? Maybe go back in and go out and come back in, and then we'll see if sometimes that helps. Always reset, right? And so we're going to talk about collaboration. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch, and we're just going to talk a little bit about collaboration, and then we'll have Shelly share her story at the end, because she wanted to talk a little bit about how we at Redemption Press just have seen some really success stories within our authors and what a blessing it is to work with them. So Athena, can you explain what it means to really leverage other people's platforms and grow your audience?
Absolutely. And that was just kind of an aha moment I had about 7 years ago of realizing, the synergy that happens when you have more than one author. You have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 30 authors who are all involved in one work, and how they're all promoting each other, and how powerful that is when someone says, well, wow, if you like this author, you're going to like this author. And just the endorsement that comes when you are collaborating with other like-minded authors.
Right. So there's a couple ways that you can collaborate. And one of those, I'm going to give you 3 actually. So the first one is guest blogging. Guest blogging is a great way for the person who is really what we've been calling in our BMA, our academy, we've been calling them the prolific penman. We're doing a series right now on marketing and your strengths. And so this really gives them the opportunity to use the strength of writing and actually have articles, devotions, blogs that get featured on someone else's page so that they're able to then leverage those audience. The second one is podcast appearances. And ironically enough, today we're going to talk about that in BMA. I'm going to talk about how every gifting and where we are in our strengths and how we utilize that to really help with our podcasting. Everyone should be a part of podcasts. It's a great way to, again, leverage someone else's platform to be able to reach their audience. But it's not just about selling our book to them, but it is about really giving their audience value and giving their audience some good opportunities. Athena, you did podcasting for a long time and you had guests on. What were you looking for when you wanted to have a guest on your podcast, Redeemed and Restored?
I just looked for someone who had a story that aligned with the theme of the podcast. And it was actually a video cast that also went audio. So it was both platforms. And so those were the stories that I was looking for, where just an amazing story of God's faithfulness and his redemption in their life. And as long as I knew that there was that connection and that parallel, it was great to have them as a guest. And because that's, encouraging my audience in exactly the point that I'm driving home every time I have a show.
Yeah. And so that's what we need to do as authors who are looking for a place to be on a podcast. We need to make sure that we recognize what the podcast is about and then be able to offer their guests value and truth so that it corresponds with what that podcast is all about. And then the third thing is collaborations. And that is something that we're going to talk a little bit more today with a special guest that's going to join us. But collaborations are where we're going to kind of work in the spring in our BMA. We are going to really talk through how do we leverage the audiences of others that isn't necessarily in a podcast or a blog, but really getting to the grassroots level and having all those items that you need, the collateral items and things that will really help you navigate those conversations. But first, we want to welcome today a good friend of ours, a very special guest, Michelle Riddell. Michelle lives in Waco, Texas. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
And I got to spend this weekend with Michelle. She and her friend Linda put on this fantastic local conference in Waco, and Kelly and I got to speak and be a part of their community. And she and Linda do such a great job really nurturing that audience and those authors. But Michelle also is writing a book, and it's just got out of coaching and we're getting ready for edit. And we wanted to help her today start really thinking about collaboration. And so Athena's going to ask her a few questions to help us navigate where Michelle is in the process. So Michelle, thank you so much. We're excited for what you are going to bring to us today.
Thank you.
Yes. Nice to see your face, my friend.
Hello.
So, yes, what core message do you want your devotional? Because I know you started in a different direction and really changed to the devotional genre not that long ago. So
Right.
what do you want that core message to be to communicate to teachers?
I would love to communicate to teachers that their job, although difficult, is also rewarding and
Mm.
important, and that we can turn those battleground moments into playground moments.
Ooh, I love that. That's so good. Okay, so, and I'll bet a lot of teachers feel like it is a war zone. So
Oh,
that's going to
definitely.
resonate. Wow.
More now than ever.
Yes. Yes. So, who do you envision as your primary audience and what do they need most?
For a long time, even when I was teaching, I wanted to do something to encourage Christian teachers in the public schools.
Mm, mm,
Now, as we've gone through and I've written this book, I think it would also appeal to teachers in Christian schools, private schools, but my heart is for teachers, but I have a special place there for Christian teachers in the public school because the battle is real.
absolutely. That is so good. So, how can you use your personal teaching experiences to really deepen that connection with your reader?
What I've done is gone through and told stories from my teaching. I taught for 26 years, and
Mm,
I've gone through and told little snippets of stories that happened in my classroom, and then tried to pull a lesson, what I learned out of there, and how we can apply that, and then how we can reflect on the truths from that and refocus and keep going with that battle that's in the classroom and do what the best we can for our students.
mm. That is so good. All right. So we're going to switch gears now. We went through kind of some important pieces there to bring some clarity. So now you have both Shelley and Carol are going to coach you through some processes that will help a ton.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to do, Michelle, is really work with our authors and help them determine like the direction that they could go and the potential that is there with the message of their book. I love the idea of what your book is about because I was a teacher too in my first life. And I was able to, I know the struggles of being in the classroom and the struggles that teachers go through. And it is a very hard and demanding job. And I think it's even more challenging in this day and age, in this culture that we live in, than it was, oh my goodness, like 25 years ago when I was in the classroom, almost 30 years ago when I started. So I first wanted to ask you a question that's going to help us clarify what you mean so that we're able to really work through this process with you. So when you say battleground to playground, can you define what each of those areas look like?
For me, battleground is the tough moments. And this first hit when I was working at the junior high, and we have to now go in through a metal gate because the entire campus is fenced. So you have to swipe your ID and go through this gate, and it clangs shut behind you.
Okay.
And it every time it sent a chill down my spine, even though I'm just going in into the lock. It just, and I kept hearing from other veteran teachers, it's harder than it used to be. It's harder than it used to be. And I thought, why? We have all these advances in technology. We have so many things that should make teaching easier. But the fact that you've got to have that open tab in your mental browser of, is the door locked? You have to have that mental tab open. Am I going to be able to keep my kids safe? We deal with, the problems that our students have at home are increasingly complex. There are just so many things that make it harder than it used to be. And so I wanted to do something to encourage. We have new teachers that are leaving in droves after 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. And I want to encourage them and show them how to find that joy, how to turn that battleground into a playground, so that they can stay and that we can have experienced quality teachers in our schools because our students need it now more than ever.
Michelle, that is so powerful and so true as we watch what is happening in the news, in our culture, in our school systems. And so as we talk about how to really help you navigate the message that God's given you and be able to help and encourage teachers, I want to offer this suggestion or this kind of groundwork or the foundation that teachers are feeling the same as you describe that metal door clanging and walking into a place where you're uncertain as to what that day is going to look like, because your lesson plans may be well thought out, but you never know what disruption is going to come your way. It's interesting because I worked with an author who was writing a book about the shooting it was a while ago. It was like 20, 30 years ago. And she was a school teacher, and there was a shooting that was happening just in her area. I think it was Baltimore. And she was talking about how fearful they were, even in the classroom, even though it didn't happen there. And this overarching fear over all of this, the faculty, the students, and everyone was scared to even come to work. And I can imagine when things like that happen in our world, that it does put even a greater sense of fear within that classroom. And so as we talk through this, as a teacher, I would have really appreciated an opportunity for someone to encourage me on those days, whether it's an everyday basis or even a weekly basis, where I had some sort of words that were offering me some strength. Now, obviously, there is a difference between a Christian school and a public school or a charter school, and what we really can offer within, the guides of encouragement, if we're speaking, if we're offering them something that was written. But as you market your book, one of the things that, from what I'm hearing, is that you could offer locally people encouragement. Now, this is what I have envisioned this looking like. You would bring to the principal the idea that you wanted to give them something in written communication that could encourage their teachers weekly. And so I think the introduction of what you would do when you enter into the school to offer this. So I would start local, like right at that Christian school that's close to you. I know your church has a Christian school.
Yes, I do.
So maybe your church or maybe the public school that is right in your area. And Shelley has a great way of really presenting this, and then I'll go into the details.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would just beautifully gift wrap copy of your book. Now, this strategy works if you can have the money to get just a little bit of inventory so that you can have copies of your book and beautifully wrap it, nice taffeta bow, and a handwritten note. And the handwritten note, I think, is super important. And it's not that you can't put a postcard or something in there that of collateral, business card or something along those lines, but the handwritten note, make it very personal. Find out who the contact person is. So I would start with the low-hanging fruit, those who you know personally or you have a direct connection to. And so you find out exactly who that person is, write the note to them personally, and just let them know that you're gifting them a copy of the book. And then it's always about them, right? So, and what value you're going to bring to their teacher body, right? And how you can encourage them. And so just express that in your handwritten note that you want to share this message and just encourage and pour into them. And you can be specific, give a couple of points, as Carol had mentioned, a couple of points of how you want to encourage them. And you come from a place of deep understanding, right? So you, of course, I would mention that in the handwritten note as well. And if you can deliver it, that would be great. But if you mail it, that's great too. So if they're local, hand delivery is ideal. As for the person by name, and then gift that to them in person. But of course, you can send it through the mail as well with that handwritten note. Go ahead, Carol.
That's a great idea.
And then with that gift, you also want to give the gift of encouragement to not only the teacher or the principal that's receiving that gift, but also to the entire staff. So perhaps within that, you could, number one, ask for a meeting with that principal or that school leader and sit down with them and say, I would love to offer you, because of my experience, because of the platform that I have been offered with this, having a book, because a book gives you credibility. I would love to offer you, 50 or, count the weeks. So there's 9 times 4. So 36 weeks of emails that give you an encouraging word for your staff once a week. So Monday morning, you could send it out to them. You don't have to do any work with it. And it's just a gift that I have for your faculty. Within that email, we'll have your name by Michelle Riddell, and then author of, and the name of the book. So it's a very subtle way to get your book in front of them. Now, we know that, yes, we want them to buy our book because we want our book to get out there and reach the masses because we believe in our message. So don't think that you are kind of going in the back door and trying to get people to buy your book, because really, Michelle, I know your heart and God knows your heart, and you have a heart to serve and to encourage, and you do it all the time for zero money. So you're not looking to get, it's good to get a profit, and there's nothing wrong with making money, but just, so don't think that you're trying to slide under the gate and get into their school system because you want them to buy your book, but you really have the heart, and you pray for them, and you can let them know that. You can have separate messages. You can have one for the Christian school, and you can have one for the public school. So that's my first suggestion to you. And since Maria is on watching in the feed, so Maria said this is a very important topic to write about. Maria also lives in Texas, Michelle. And Maria wrote a book, a children's book called My Shepherd, My Protector, that walks the reader through the 23rd Psalm in regard to the school shooting that was in Texas a few years ago. So that's another way to collaborate. So you have a devotional. Maria has a children's book, which would be perfect for elementary age.
Yes.
And now you collaborate together. So I hope you're still in the watching, Maria, that you would collaborate together. And now you're offering 2 different ways to reach and encourage. You have you who is reaching the teacher, and now you have Maria who's bringing a message to the student. But it also encourages the teacher. So collaboration can be done through collaborating with the principal because they have your audience, and collaborating with another author who has a book that reaches the same message. So anything else, Shelley or Athena, that you could bring?
This is so good.
I would let me just throw out a really practical way to start this is I would start making a list, and I would shoot for 20. And like I said earlier, that low-hanging fruit, start with those that you know or have that connection, and then move on to other schools, public and private, where you may not know them, and then make your dream list where you want to get into. And so just start at the top with that low-hanging fruit, and then move down your list and gift the book. Giving away your book is one of the number 1 top strategies that you can do, because but the gift, let me preface that, or a little caveat with that, is it has to be the right people from a marketing perspective, right? So you give your book away to those who will read your book, because you never know who you're giving that book to. And when somebody finds a good thing, they are going to tell other people, right? So don't ever underestimate the value of giving that book away. And of course, from that motive, and you have the purest, I know Michelle personally as well, the purest of motives, but give your book away any chance that you can to the right people who will read it.
Thank you.
So Michelle, how do you feel after our little mini coaching session?
Very excited. I've been sitting here scribbling notes. So,
well, Michelle, we can't wait to continue to, here we go. Maria, who has the children's book, says, try to get your foot into a faculty meeting or school convocation. And so Michelle, actually in Texas is one of the most friendly places to get into the school that I can see, because we have a friend, Tammy Whitehurst, who speaks at schools all the time. And that's another great way to tell them, like, I would love to come to your faculty meeting, you know, as the person who's guest emailing them every week, and just give them an encouragement at the beginning of school, in the middle of school, when things are just hard. You know, those times when you're just like so done and you're so ready for Christmas break or spring break.
October.
Yes. October, November, December, January.
In April and February, yes.
And so giving them the opportunity. And this is just a little piece of what we do in the Book Marketing Pro Academy. Is we love to bring our authors in, and every single author needs this. And it is a great opportunity to brainstorm with you and help you and give you the resources and help you create templates and help you do all the things. So Michelle, thank you for being with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mwah.
You're a delight.
Yes,
We love you.
Yes.
All right. And so in speaking of that, with collaboration, we are reinventing 2 specific areas of Redemption Press in 2025. The first thing we are reinventing is an RP Kids line. So this is for authors who are part of the Redemption Press publishing. And we are coming up with some extraordinary ways on how we can get our children's authors to collaborate with one another so that we can reach a broader audience. So the children's books are where we are starting first. And then many of you recognize She Writes for Him. Thina, give us just like a 2-minute backstory on what She Writes for Him is.
It was just an idea from the Lord to take 2 or 3 well-known authors and 20 or 30 first time or, you know, just newer authors, and put them all in a book together, dealing with whatever topic, and just allow them to promote to each other, but to be promoted by some of the bigger names. Like we had Liz Curtis Higgs in one, who talked about her cancer journey. We had Debbie Alsdorf talk about her betrayal. So we've had all these different well-known authors who are kind of the lead featured authors, with another group of newer authors who get to be part of that synergy and be promoted on other platforms just by virtue of being in that compilation.
Yeah, so it started with compilations, which we do have one coming out hopefully this summer. It should be done and ready to launch, Courageous Leadership. And then we have another one that will come out probably a year later that Sarah Cormany is working on with Enduring Love. So if you want to be a part of something like that, you definitely can just contact us and we'll get you in touch with Sarah. But the other thing that She Writes for Him did is they offered so much training, and we did. And Athena was like the groundbreaking person who put on the very first big virtual conference in this industry. And she was able to then take that conference and do trainings and retreats and all the things that we have been putting on. But as, you know, in person began opening up and we began doing more in-person things, we've kind of taken a step back from a lot of the virtual big things and just really focus on our Book Marketing Pro Academy. Yeah. We will get it. But with that, we want to reinvent She Writes for Him, because we recognize as we're moving forward that it's about collaboration. And so we are going to really focus on a women's line of books, because we do have quite a few women that write Bible studies, devotionals. We have them that write Christian living books and even, you know, fiction. And so being able to bring the women together to really market together. So for our authors, having opportunities, and we cannot wait to launch this in the next year. So be watching. If you are part of our family, we will be contacting you to have you be part of like kind of the beta testing of the first run of the revamping of She Writes for Him and the new RP Kids line.
So we are going to give some books away. So hopefully everybody has made a comment in the chat, so we know you're here, because that's where Carol is going to blindfold herself and pick someone off there, since it's way too much work to put you all in a spinner and do the spinner. Okay. So our first book is Shep and the King's Heart and the King of Hearts. And it is a novella. Basic theme, or a theme throughout it, is gambling addictions. So it's got a real powerful story and real redemption. So we would love to give this away to.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I wasn't ready. That book is so good. When I did the review of it, I couldn't stop reading it. Like, I actually read the whole thing, and I don't usually do that when I review a book. So it is amazing. So you'll be super happy. And the winner is Maria Valdez Perez.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
So if you are a winner, I forgot to put this in here, you need to email info@redemption.press.com with your address so that we have it. And I'm going to put it up on the screen for you while Athena talks about the next book.
All right.
The first, who Ann Griffiths is asking, who's the author? That would be Stacy Ladyman.
Stacy Ladyman. Sorry about that.
Stacey
Yes, Stacy Ladyman. All right. The next one is Paula Jausch, Cross Addicted, Breaking Free from Family Trauma and Addiction. This book is now in like thousands of prisons all across the country. And she is just, God is opening many doors for her. So it's very exciting to see what God is doing. Who's got this one?
This one is Lorraine Hoving.
Woohoo! All right, Lorraine.
Yeah, Lorraine is doing coaching with us. She's just starting to write her book. So that's exciting. She's an Arizona girl.
Nice. All right. The next one is The Great End Times Debate by Dean Davis, Issues, Options, and Millennial Answers. So this is definitely a theology book, but this guy is one of our authors, has 8 books with us, and he is just a joy to work with. We worked with him for decades.
So our winner is Karen Bartlett from Livermore, California.
Woo, Karen. All right.
And She Writes for Him Retreat. She came. So good to see you today, Karen. We love you.
All right. And our last but not least, Lessons from Lad. What My Dog Taught Me About Life, Love, Leadership, and Loss by Christine Ferris. One of my favorite people.
Book. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Beautiful hardcover, full color devotional with pictures all the way through of Lad, and just amazing.
And the winner is Carolyn Dick from Texas.
Woo! All right.
And she is one of our authors writing a biblical fiction. Amazing story, by the way. You guys cannot wait till it comes out. And you know what? So Athena, now that Shelly has decided to quit echoing on us, she actually has a story. And I think she's going to talk about Lessons from Lad, since she didn't get to share at the beginning. So Shelly, are you ready to do that?
Sure. Yeah. Let me go back up to my notes here. So, well, to preface, and I am going to mention Lessons from Lad in just a moment, but here's the thing, and I'm sorry I missed the very beginning, but I just want to let you know that, and y'all probably already know this if you know us well, is that our mission at Redemption Press goes far beyond publishing. We believe in true partnership, and we've talked about the collaboration and partnership today, but walking alongside our authors from the very beginning, not just to publish your books, but to help you get your message out into the world. And one of my personal greatest joys, and Carol has mentioned as well, as we coach Michelle briefly there, but one of our greatest joys is brainstorming with our authors and helping them navigate the world of book marketing, because for so many, that is the scariest part, is the book marketing aspect. And then being, just seeing them succeed when they put the strategies into action. So here's an example. Larry Morgan is one of our authors, and he wrote a powerful Christian historical fiction novel called A Centurion's Journey. And when it came to launch his book, we didn't just send him off with his book in hand. We developed a marketing strategy for him, and he took advantage of our exclusive Amazon launch campaign, which we call the ABC Book Lunch. And we provided him with that, with a curated list of promotional sites to promote his book, on his ebook, on other book promotional sites. And in just a few days, by combining the two strategies, he had over 3,100 downloads for his ebook. And so it's amazing. So here is an even more amazing part to that is Larry has very little, if any, social media presence. So he did this off of social media for the most part. And he followed the plan. He took action, and the results just spoke for themselves. So then the last thing I'll share is the Christian Product Expo, which we're getting ready to go in just a few weeks to the winter one in Tampa. But the summer one that we were in just a few months back was absolutely amazing. And watching the bookstore retailers, they had already heard about our authors. And it was kind of amazing. Like they were almost like little celebrities. They came looking for Redemption Press authors. And it was an amazing sight to see many of the retailers seek out our authors, and they waited in line to meet them. And that was including Lessons from Lad. Christine Ferris, she and her husband, Dave, had their rough collie, not Lad, because Lad is no longer with us, but had I think it was his nephew, I believe, called Legend. So they had Legend with them, and everybody knew Christine and Dave, and it was just an absolute joy. But to see our authors minister to those who stopped by, the retailers who stopped by the table, and even pray with those who needed prayer, and just their sensitivity and their heart for the retailers. And it was just a beautiful reminder of why we do what we do and how blessed we are really to partner with such amazing authors. So yeah, it's just an amazing joy to be a part of that. And I'll finish with this. You know, we equip, we encourage, and we walk this journey with our authors. But the big key to the success is that when our authors, they take the tools, they take the ideas, they take the templates and the resources that we give them, and they run with them. And it's that partnership. And when they do, they see pretty incredible results. So it's pretty amazing to do this journey with them.
Amen. Well, Shelley, we're going to let you wrap it up and remind everyone of what's happening tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm getting all my words in. Y'all are going to be tired of hearing from me.
That's right.
All right. So the last, right. See if I ever have to log out and log back in again. So y'all, here's just a final recap of collaboration. Never underestimate the power of collaboration. It can really be a game changer for authors. Being able to tap into existing audiences, to build credibility, expand your reach, is much faster than going it alone. Like Michelle and Maria, hopefully they can get together and collaborate together in Texas. So when you partner with established platforms and contribute to other blogs and podcasts, working with community groups, you get to connect with new readers and you get to share your message more widely. So collaboration is a powerful, powerful tool. And lastly, for tomorrow, we have one more day, right? Just one more day. We're going to be live tomorrow, same time, same place. Hopefully no technical issues tomorrow. And we're going to be having more exciting discussions, value-packed sessions. And we'll be sharing a limited time publishing offer as well. And we're giving away a grand prize worth $597. But you must be present to win the prize.
Yay. And you know what, so while we've been on the call, I've had a few people pop into my email saying that they wanted information about BMA, our academy. And so we do have a special that's going on right now. You can try it out for 3 months for $111 to celebrate our 11th anniversary. And it will be the best marketing tool, coaching all the things that you could get for the most incredible price. We will give you so much value. I did put the email address in the chat. So let me pop that up there. You could, or not email, website. So you can go to the website, click on it, join us. It's so much fun. And we're even doing a training later today in about an hour. So it'll be great.
Nice. Well,
Actually,
thank you all again.
There's the correct one, bookmarketingproacademy.com.
Sorry.
All right, that's all
There
right.
we go. We have a new name. Used to be Redemption Press University. The new name is, we're all getting used to it. Yes.
For sure. All right,
So
everyone.
again, thank you all for joining us today. Thanks for hanging in through the technical difficulties, and we wouldn't be who we are without all of you. So thank you so much for joining us. Mwah. We'll see you tomorrow.
God bless you. Bye-bye.